Hey everybody, and welcome to Don't Copy That Floppy. I'm your host Lex, and I'm joined by
Dan.
Dan trying to drink his delicious drink.
I'm going to drink this soda. No, so keep talking.
We are a video game news and other information TV show or podcast. I wish we were a TV show. That'd be great. We do reviews too.
Yes.
We are weekly on chipit.net. We're an hour-long show on Fridays from 7 until 8. We broadcast live. But now you can also listen to our archived episodes on chipit.net.
So exciting.
Or you can go on iTunes. Don't Copy That Floppy. Also listen to all of our archived episodes on there. Plus, we also have other social media like a Facebook, Don't Copy That Floppy, and a Twitter at DCTF Podcast. Dan, how was your drink?
Oh, it was good. It's an orange. It's a San Pellegrino orange sparkling beverage.
Oh, give me some of that. Is there any left?
There's more downstairs. You can have one after the show.
I'm
not sharing this drink with you on radio.
I'm taking a mid-show break.
Okay.
And
I'll do our update while you go and get that. We have a very special mid-show update today.
Dan, what are we talking about today? We got a lot of news.
Oh my god. We need to talk about the PlayStation Network being hacked again. We need to talk about Nintendo unveiling new products and some Super Smash Bros. News along with that. A big buyout. Amazon bought Twitch. That's big. We're going to talk about it.
Especially the price.
The price is actually very big.
Yeah.
A little anecdote about a Palestinian game developer that both of us discovered prior to this week's show and thought was intriguing. Intriguing. Some stuff about Dragon Age Inquisition, which is coming out very soon, isn't it? Is that due out soon?
Mid-September?
Mid-September? Yeah, so we're getting there. A little bit of Xbox news and some talks about game critic Anita Sarkeesian of the Feminist Frequency videos and the never-ending odyssey of Trolls and BS.
Troll Odyssey.
The Troll Odyssey surrounding her videos.
Like, if Homer wrote about trolls, that's what would be happening. Or, like, the Iliad of Trolls.
The Iliad of Trolls.
Anyway.
So
we're going to start today with lizard terrorists.
Lizard terrorists, as you told me.
Cold-blooded terror.
Now, anyone who tried to access the PlayStation Network this past Sunday morning on that would be the 24th? Yes. The 24th. Would find that they could not do so. They could not access this PlayStation Network because hackers performed a DDoS attack, distributed denial of service, to basically flood the servers and make them too slow to connect to.
Yeah.
And then they, hacker group claimed to be responsible for it, and then they called in a bomb threat on a plane carrying the president of Sony. Oh. His flight was redirected. There was no bomb on the plane. No. This whole thing blew over within about 24 hours.
Yeah, the networks were back up.
Yeah.
Sony has the technology to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, after the last time they got hacked and all that information was compromised, I'm sure they beefed up.
And that's the
response.
Probably the most important part of this is not only that the servers came back up that quickly, but also that Sony's like, don't worry, no personal information has been accessed or stolen or anything.
Right.
Or at least so they say, but I have reason to believe them because
I think we would have heard about it by now.
Yeah.
Someone would know by now. It really seems to me that this group of hackers behind this, or if you really want to call them that, because they didn't really do a whole lot of hacking, just did it for the heck of it.
To be jerks.
To be jerks. It just kind of seems like let's just do this and be smarmy about it.
The article we're quoting all this from, or not quoting, but we're getting all this information from, is from HuffPost. It was posted on August 24th.
Yeah.
And so I know some accounts may differ. This seemed to be this seemed to have all the important stuff in it.
The hacker group was called Lizard Squad.
Lizard
Terrorists.
Their thumbnail was actually amazing, so I'm really...
Is that little iguana with a pipe and suit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't think he has a monocle, but he could use one. But no, so they tweeted out the reason why they did this was because they're all about ISIS.
The terrorist group.
Yeah, the terrorist group ISIS. They support ISIS.
They support ISIS.
They indicated that the action against Sony servers won't stop until the U.S. ceases attacks on the Islamic State. And their tweet read, "Kufar
don't get to play video games until bombing of the ISIL stops."
And then a little picture of somebody.
This whole thing seems like a joke.
It does sort of seem like a joke.
But it's almost so much like a joke that it could be real.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
See, yeah, I'm on the fence as to whether Lizard Squad are just like super goofy internet trolls who are like, we're going to bring down the server for the lulz, and then we're going to say that it's about terrorism for the lulz. Right. Or if they're actually a group of extremists that are like, we don't really know how to hack anything, but we want to do something.
Yeah.
And like the plain bomb threat made it seem more like they were a group of extremists.
Maybe it's just me, but just something doesn't seem right about that tweet. Just the way it's worded and the fact that they have hashtag ISIL, hashtag PSN, and hashtag ISIS.
Today we planted the ISIS flag on Sony's servers.
Can you imagine if during like the war on terror after like in Afghanistan and everything, if the terrorists had just started posting like, saw a woman not wearing a burqa today, disgusting, hashtag like Al-Qaeda life. Like,
oh no.
Like, can you even imagine?
Dude, what if the thing
it's too unreal.
If these are trolly people, especially because their name is Lizard Squad.
Yeah.
So that
hey.
Yeah. But if these are guys are trying to be trolls,
yeah,
but they did it under the guise of being terrorists, like that was a really bad idea because the U.S. government is going to come down like a hammer on you.
Yeah, most likely. Oh well, people do stupid things.
Hashtag jihad.
Hashtag jihad.
Oh my god.
Hashtag NSA spying.
Then there was also this funny thing that, like, immediately after they took credit for taking down the servers, a hacker named Fame God was like, it wasn't these guys, it was me. And I'm like, whatever, dude.
I know, right? No, but don't you get how cool he is now?
His name is Famed God. He must be cool.
He must be super cool. I bet he wears a fedora.
Oh, God.
I would, like, bet money right here that guy wears a fedora. Maybe even two. When you're as good of a hacker as him, you can afford it.
And he has a goatee.
Hashtag ISIS.
Hashtag jihad. Hashtag PSN.
Hashtag PSN. So,
but yeah, the bottom line to this is that Sony got the servers up again within 24 hours.
Yes. And
they haven't been brought down again.
I want to say that this hacking attempt caused me personal stress. Because when it happened, I was like, am I going to be able to download the Dark Souls 2 DLC that comes out on Tuesday? Thankfully, and I'm sure you were all worried, thankfully, I was able to download the DLC.
Even Lizard terrorists couldn't stop me from playing Dark Souls 2.
I did, and I enjoyed it. It's another very good DLC pack.
Freedom.
God bless America.
Moving right on to Nintendo.
That whole story went in a very weird direction.
We teased it as a lizard terrorist. Of course it was going to move in a weird direction.
One of the people in our chat room says that they are 99% sure that they're just a bunch of trolls pretending to have some bigger motive.
Oh, yeah.
But they have no proof of that.
I think that's probably
the most likely scenario here. So, let's talk. You want to talk a little bit about Nintendo? And some of their new announcements as of today?
Yeah, I didn't even know about this story. Daniel brought it to my attention on the way over here.
Daniel?
I'm trying to be formal. This is a serious news program.
I can't believe you just called me that. So Nintendo today, in a Japanese Nintendo Direct, announced the new version of the 3DS called the new 3DS.
I was really hoping it was going to be 4DS.
This you can play through time.
3DS 1.
So it's a new pair of 3DS models. There seem to be actually called New 3DS and New 3DS XL.
Extra large.
And they
for the American audience.
They feature an upgraded CPU, a small analog nub, not an analog stick, a nub above the buttons on the right side. buttons that are recolored to look like a Super Nintendo controller, and additional shoulder buttons. It also supports sliding custom covers, and the 3D will be higher quality than previous models. So the thing that's has people most interested is the new CPU. They announced that Xenoblade Chronicles is being ported, and that it would not be able to play this game without the upgraded CPU. All of this, when I look at the design of this thing, just makes me ask why. Why did they do it this way?
It's a poor design.
It's a really poor design.
Which is weird because, the DS has an amazing design, and the 3DS I always felt was a little bit of a step down, but not bad.
No.
So
I mean, the biggest gripe with the 3DS,
so good. It's weird that they designed it like this because it's just a really poor.
That little analog nub is in the worst possible place. They moved the start and select buttons from the bottom of the system somewhere else, which prevented them from moving the other buttons and making the second analog stick good.
Yeah.
And the biggest complaint about the 3DS has always been that it does not have that second analog stick.
Yeah.
Especially for Monster Hunter, which benefits hugely from having that second stick. But they also make the Circle Pad Pro, which you can just do if you need a second analog stick. You just buy one of those. I don't know. I'm not sure how well this is going to catch on. Because even I have seen some clips of the new Xenoblade game, and the graphics don't even really look that good. And I know that game's hard to find now, but I don't know. It seems like an odd time to announce this too, because nobody's really been hurting for a new 3DS. The 3DS and the 3DS XL have been doing fine on their own.
Yeah.
And like I said, the majority of the games don't benefit much from a second analog stick.
The 3DS XL is the one that doesn't fold, right?
No, that's the 2DS.
Oh.
The bafflingly titled 2DS.
Okay.
That's the one that's just a tray.
Yeah.
With screens on it.
There are already so many models out. Why put another? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's because the 2DS was not announced that long ago.
No, it didn't. It came out this year.
So, Nintendo, you've already cornered the handheld market. You can hold off.
So this is actually coming out in Japan on October 11th. The day Monster Hunter gets released, the newest Monster Hunter game.
That makes sense,
and it's being bundled. Yeah, there's a bundle and everything. So,
the best thing is the name. New 3DS.
Yeah, name New 3DS. This Forbes article that I've been pulling this info from, published today, has an exchange that the author wrote up.
A
theoretical exchange between a GameStop employee and a person attempting to buy a DS.
And let's be fair, this is theoretical, but it will definitely happen.
Yeah,
and it will be amazing.
Let's run through this real quick.
Do you want to do? I'll do every other line.
Yeah. Do you want to start do you want to be the customer?
I'll be the customer.
Customer starts. Okay.
Oh, excuse me. Do you have a new 3DS?
I'm sorry. Did you say new 3DS or new 3DS?
Well, my son wants a new 3DS for his birthday.
A new 3DS?
A new 3DS.
We have a used new 3DS.
I'll just take the cheapest one.
That would be the new old 3DS.
Child cries on his birthday.
This exchange is gonna happen. This is going to happen. I used to work at a GameStop. It was hard enough without things being called. I want to do a call out to our chat room. A+++ acting.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
We could have gone into theater, but instead we went into podcasting, and I think
we did that. We did that for you.
Yeah, we sacrificed an entire career for you.
For you two people in the chat right now. So in other related Nintendo news, earlier in the week, this article is from Polygon on August 25th. There was a big leak of Super Smash Bros. Info, possibly revealing the full character roster for the new game.
Oh man!
Which includes such all-star picks as Bowser Jr., my least favorite character.
But don't forget the dog.
Duck Hunt Dog.
Duck Hunt.
Which is strange to me, but might be cool.
He is a classic.
He is really classic.
He's the kind of thing that, like, I want to see a Duck Hunt level.
Yes.
And I want to see him in the background doing stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to play as him.
Unless they make him really awesome to play as. Who knows? There's a duck on his portrait, too, so maybe they're partners. Who knows?
Try and screw over
I guarantee
players.
his taunt is that little, like, laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Which is spectacular.
It is good.
So along with those two, other characters that have not yet been revealed that were shown on this leak were Ganondorf, who I'm pretty sure everyone expected to come back, as well as Dark Pit from Kid Icarus Uprising, which is like an evil version of Pit.
I got that.
Allegedly, he will have a different moveset, people think, because he was a very different character in the game.
Okay.
He was actually, like, personality-wise, and he wasn't just like, this is the evil version of Pit in the game.
Oh, okay.
Like, he had a very much his own personality, he was very much part of the story in an interesting way, separate, and used very different fighting techniques and everything. So that could be cool. Who knows? I still don't really care about the character that much, but whatever. Also, Shulk, the main character of Xenoblade Chronicles, which is, in my opinion, an unexpected addition to the game, but cool. And the interesting thing about this big leak is that today, at that same Nintendo Direct that the new 3DS was announced at, they revealed Shulk as a playable character in Super Smash Bros., which means that this leak is probably legit.
Oh, yeah.
Almost without a doubt at this point. So, there you go, everybody. If you look up Super Smash Bros. Character roster leak, you will find the full character roster. Some people still speculate there may be a few more unlockable characters here, like this is just the starting roster, which is a very big starting roster, if that's true.
Man.
Some people are speculating that in some of the modes that have not been touched upon yet, there will be more unlockable characters. Also, part of this leak included a rumor of DLC characters at some point as well, including some of the old characters that are not in this, like Lucas, Solid Snake. I haven't seen Solid Snake. Yeah, they haven't said anything about him in this. And this leak said that he was going to be a DLC character this time around.
Does anyone besides Solid Snake use guns in this game?
Star Fox. I mean, laser guns.
Yeah.
Like, not good guns.
So, like...
Although Solid Snake never used any, like, bullet guns.
I thought he did. I think he has some machine gun that he used at one point.
He uses missile launchers and light bombs and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because apparently, like, rocket launchers are kid-friendly, but, like, a machine gun isn't.
I'm just trying to figure out what character... If my friend is playing Duck Hunt Dog, what character not to play. Because he'll... Come on.
I know. It'll be rough. Frankly, I'm just glad that Captain Falcon's still in.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I cared about.
I mean, dude, if Captain Falcon wasn't, man...
There would be riots.
Yeah.
There would be riots.
Flips everywhere.
So, yeah, Super Smash Bros. It's still coming out.
It's still... Yeah, it's... Surprise.
It's surprise, everybody.
Do we want to move into the big purchase of the...
Yeah, let's get into this because this is a big article.
Okay. This is an article from The Economist, published on August 26th, and it is called A New Media Monolith, and it is about Amazon's purchase of Twitch.
For $970 million.
Million dollars.
Yeah, all right.
I'm doing the Dr. Evil thing, you can't tell.
A+ acting.
A+ acting.
So, yeah. Now, was there much build-up to this? I don't follow news related to Twitch much in general.
Yes. There had been a lot of rumors back and forth that Google was going to buy it and then Amazon was going to buy it. And it seemed like they were sort of maybe bidding war behind the scenes, or they were just both interested.
Right.
And for a long time, people thought it was definitely going to go to Google, and people were actually worried about that because... Google will sometimes clamp down on YouTube when it's content that's like from a video game. So people who stream games on Twitch, understandably, became very worried that if Google bought it, that there might be that kind of clamp down there, and it would kill a lot of the...
You wouldn't be able to use Twitch without a Google Plus account.
That would be annoying.
No!
Because nobody uses Google Plus.
Nope. And nothing Google can do will stop that.
It's unfortunate, but nobody uses it. But yeah, so it ended up being Amazon, and I think this is good because competition, I guess. I hate to go back to that argument because I think it's something that I hear a lot and it kind of bothers me. But in this case, it actually seems like a legitimate argument. Because now we've got sort of Google and Amazon are competing more, and that might mean that, I don't know, Twitch might do better because Amazon will put more money behind it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. And we'll see some cool stuff. And they won't, because Amazon is already kind of in a lower place than Google, at least on this sort of streaming playing field, right?
Right.
They'll probably be more lenient to let Twitch do whatever as long as it makes money, and that will probably only grow the community.
Right.
But yeah, so the sale was for so much money. And I was reading, and I don't remember if it was in this article or somewhere else. I'm sure it was in this article, and I'm totally can't remember where it is. But they were talking about the... Oh, okay. Although all estimates suggest that the company makes less than $100 million in revenues, analysts believe Twitch is already profitable. So if they're making around $100 million, that means that Amazon must be pretty confident because if they don't think that Twitch will grow, then it would take 10 years to pay off their investment.
Right, so clearly they think that they can help it get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, this article talks a lot about how just, streaming services like this are becoming such a big thing now in modern media.
Especially because of esports.
Actually true, yep,
yeah.
Especially because of esports. And also just because of people looking for something to watch. People who are interested in video games want to just, watch people stream video games. It's the same as, the YouTube, Let's Player phenomenon that's kind of happened. For whatever reason, there's a big audience for just watching playthroughs of video games. There's also the whole Twitch Plays Pokemon thing, which got huge.
That was way more popular than it had any right
I
to
know,
be.
it was insane.
I wonder how much money that made for them.
I have no idea. And, the fact that these are just garnering so much attention, things silly little things like that, is you can generate a ton of money from advertising revenue and stuff just for from owning this service.
Definitely.
So if they play their cards right, Amazon can probably make a ton of money off of this. Definitely make back what they spent. Yeah.
This article also talks a little bit about in terms of the esports stuff, the kind of money that's being made in that, and sort of to support this sort of the money that was spent in this sale with evidence to be no, listen, this is a big industry.
Yeah.
And it talks about how the international and annual tournament with a prize pot of nearly 11 million, which was for Dota 2, I believe, in Washington.
Yes.
In Seattle.
Yes.
So, wow, all that money. There's so much money going on.
What I'm sure some people are concerned about is I'm wondering how if at all Amazon is going to change the way Twitch's service works.
Well, yeah, let's hope they don't institute a bunch of random paywalls to do stuff.
Right.
But my assumption, again, because it's not Google buying it, is that they won't. Because
Hopefully.
They want to compete with Google, and so they want to make it as free as possible.
Right.
I think that they're probably not going to do that. I think they're going to put a lot more ads all over the place, likely.
Probably.
But best case scenario, what they're going to do is just really publicize the heck out of stuff that's going on Twitch,
right?
To get more people to watch it, and they could actually put the mega budget that Amazon has behind that. I'm
also hoping they don't try and moderate the content too much and just kind of let it be what it has been thus far. Because part of the thing is a lot of the things that really caught on Twitch, like Twitch Plays Pokemon, are just stupid little things.
Yeah.
It's just dumb stuff. And I feel I don't want some big corporate thing coming in and being well, this isn't proper entertainment, this isn't the kind of entertainment we want on here, we're gonna get rid of this and replace it with something else.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll just leave people with free license to stream dumb things like that, because for whatever reason, it gets a lot of attention.
People love it.
Yeah, and it's the interactivity of it mostly, I think. Because Twitch Plays Pokemon, the whole idea was that every single person watching the stream was trying to take part in controlling the game. So, I don't know, it's like a weird social experiment.
But what about Fish Plays Pokemon?
Fish Plays Pokemon is like the most boring thing in the world.
Also another number that was in this article that I thought was crazy. I knew it was a lot of money, but I didn't know it was this much money. PewDiePie is estimated to make $16 million a year in advertising revenue.
Yeah, that guy's loaded.
That's like, I thought he was making like $1 million a year, which I still thought was like, wow, that's a ton of money to make a year.
Yeah.
But $16 million in advertising revenue.
Dude's loaded.
Every year.
Yeah.
Dude, go retire.
And all he does is play horror games and scream loud.
And
call people bros. That's it. That's literally all he does.
I'm speechless.
I don't even think his videos are very good.
Well,
but hey, who cares?
Don't alienate the internet, Dan.
Hey, I think he's a cool guy, but I don't think his videos are very entertaining. Right. I have nothing against the man himself, but I've tried watching his videos and I'm just like, I don't see the appeal. But hey, whatever, it made him money, so good for him. Shows what I know.
also some fun things about how streaming video on the internet, particularly Twitch, is growing and sort of eclipsing a lot of more traditional media. It talks about in here, Twitch is now responsible for more American web traffic than HBO Go, an internet video service provided by a big television broadcaster. I'm sure you knew that. And last year it had 540,000 nightly primetime viewers, which is 16% more than MTV. That's nuts. It's also great because MTV sucks.
I was just gonna say, because MTV is terrible.
But I always get depressed when I see MTV because I'm like, this is what like teenagers are watching. Yeah. But apparently more teenagers are watching Twitch. So eat it.
Cool.
Can I also point out that whoever wrote this article is obviously like a middle-aged person because they keep referring to people as youngsters.
It's
really funny.
Well, also the description of Twitch Plays Pokemon is very much an old person description of Pokemon.
Oh, wait, what is it?
On some occasions, the interaction goes further. Earlier this year, tens of thousands of Twitch commenters typed directions to guide the main character of Pokemon, a popular retro video game, through a computerized world.
Oh no.
You can hear like a CNN reporter saying.
Well, this is from the Economist, so I guess that's not unexpected. But actually,
according to our chat room people, PewDiePie is also a pro League of Legends player, so that's where a lot of his appeal comes from as well.
I didn't know that.
I also did not know
those
that.
mad skills.
I did not know that either.
Good for him.
Yes.
Good
so
for
he's very well known to League players as well.
But yeah, check out this article in The Economist. It's actually really interesting. Just because of all the different numbers that it presents and stuff.
Yeah. Stuff that you don't hear about super often. Especially not in such a like large scale context.
Hey, you on the internet, what are you watching? You're probably really confused right now that you're hearing news, video game news.
Well, we don't know what they're watching.
Oh yeah, what are they watching? They're probably watching Twitch right now.
Probably watching Twitch and listening to us because we're so great.
but
who are we?
Who are we? We are Don't Copy That Floppy.
We're a video game news show on ShipIt.net, ShipIt Radio on ShipIt.net. Mm-hmm. You can tune into us every Friday from 7 to 8 where we'll talk about video game news. And then you can listen right on the site. You can download a playlist file, listen on iTunes. We got an archive of old episodes on the website you can go through.
Yeah.
We got a Facebook page you can go to. You can like it.
Please do.
We got a Twitter page you can go to.
And
you can do whatever it is you do on Twitter. Follow things.
Hashtag jihad.
Hashtag ISIS. You can do all of that stuff. And probably something else that I'm forgetting about, too.
We have an iTunes as well.
Yes.
So if you want to subscribe to that, and that also has the same show archive that's on the Chipit site.
There's a lot of ways to access our stuff now.
And if you want to interact with us while we're live on the show, there's a chat room on the Chipit website. Go to Chipit, their homepage, up in the top bar menu, there's chat.
Just click on it, sign on in.
Yeah, you can you don't have to have an account already. You can just make up a username and a password and just jump on there. And then you can ask us questions and stuff during the show. And if we don't know the answers, we'll just ignore them.
We have We have some breaking news coming in now, by the way.
Breaking news?
Breaking news.
Oh, yes, our weekly updates.
Our weekly update on Night Trap Revamped, the Kickstarter.
I bet you thought we were done talking about Night Trap Revamped.
Shows you.
Not until the Kickstarter's over. This is important news.
So, the first week we were talking about Night Trap, there were 25 days left in its Kickstarter time. Fundraising time.
And it had made $33,000 roughly of its $330,000 goal.
Last week, we found more articles about Night Trap, including one from the very optimistic creator talking about getting the game put on Nintendo consoles, immediately following a complaint about Nintendo.
He's a great businessman.
He's really good. He's spot on. His optimistic words were sadly shattered by the fact that within that week between shows, he had only made $2,000 more on the Kickstarter. A whopping $35,000. This week...
What are we up to this week, Dan?
Would anybody like to guess? Anybody in the chat? I'm not actually going to give you time to type, because I bet you're not listening.
Wait, give him a second.
Give him a second.
If you can guess how much money was made this past week, and no cheating, don't peek.
Don't go to that Night Trap Kickstarter. Really, don't go.
We will...
Don't give them hits.
We won't. We don't have any prizes to give you.
Okay, they don't know. They don't know. It's up to from $35,000, $37,000.
A whopping $37,000.
So at their hardline rate of $2,000 per week.
Best guess
$5.
Close.
Their hardline pattern of $2,000 a week. They will hit $59,000 by the end of this Kickstarter if they keep this pace up. And you know what that means? They will have missed their goal by $270,000. Isn't that just sad?
We won't get to see Night Trap in HD, the game that we all wanted. The world wasn't ready for it.
The world wasn't ready for Night Trap HD.
Because as soon as that came out, you know there's going to be more ESRB hearings.
Oh, it's going to be a mess.
Congress is going to flip out over it.
It's going to be a mess. It was to distract everybody from the violence in the Middle East.
It was too much a game for us then, and HD is just going to be too much game for us now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's been our weekly Night Trap update. Look forward to next week when $39,000 maybe?
We can only hope, Dan.
Maybe?
We can only hope.
So exciting. Speaking of violence in the Middle East, look at that transition. We
already talked about lizard terrorists.
Look at that transition I just did, though. So, speaking of violence in the Middle East, Polygon published an article on August 26th about a Palestinian game developer called Pinchpoint, which claims to be the first venture capital-backed Palestinian video game studio.
Good for them.
Good for them. That's cool. The first game that Pinchpoint is working on is an Android title called, get ready for this one, everybody, Spermania.
Wow. This is what happens when a repressed society tries to make a video
interesting
game.
Choice for first game.
Yeah.
Spermania. Now, the sperm features don't end in the name. The game is described... I don't know why I think
I'm on the edge of my seat.
The game is described as a mobile fantasy platformer about the life of a sperm. There's some video and everything.
Is that game graphics or is that cutscene graphics, Dan?
I think that's an FMV. That's in-engine. That's in-engine sperm right there.
That's crazy. Wow.
That's in-engine sperm. Oh my god. So, but the interesting thing, the beyond the point that this is the video game, honestly, this game might be kind of fun. Let's be real here, people. The interesting thing about the article, though, is that just making the game is such a struggle for them because of all the conflict going on between Palestine and Israel. One of the developers said local events here definitely affect our focus and stress us out. We have no airport or control over our land borders, so travel costs extra time and money. This makes it more challenging to plan overseas trips, as well as to connect with foreign video game studios around the world in order to learn and share our experiences. The company was founded by coders with a passion for games. And the CEO says that he truly believes the Palestinians are very innovative and out-of-the-box thinkers, something that's required in our day-to-day life, and I'm certain that when given the chance, this makes our games different. They've certainly made a different game.
I mean, it certainly aroused my attention.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It took you a minute to get that, didn't it?
But like being real here, ignoring the fact that the game is called Spermania, like this is interesting. We don't hear much about video game development in like war-torn countries.
No, we don't. Because people are usually
focused on other things.
Yeah.
But this is so it's intriguing. Like I want to see these guys succeed because I want to see what else they would make.
Oh, definitely.
Like it's cool. So like I don't really know what else to say about it. We need more gameplay details about Spermania. Maybe Tokyo Game Show. No. Maybe PAX Prime.
No, I don't know about PAX Prime. I mean, it's in Seattle, but Tokyo Game Show. Come on. They're gonna have like. Don't start the video.
I wanted to start the video. I was gonna mute it. I was gonna mute it. I didn't think an ad for the Sprint Family Share Pack would come on that I can't mute.
Sprint.
Thanks, Sprint. I just wanted to watch muted gameplay of Spermania. Because Lortos, the unmuted gameplay must be horrifying.
Spermania, #Gaza.
I wonder if people will complain that this game doesn't feature women enough. I'm sorry I had to.
I mean, it should feature them at the end, right?
The women in this game are way too sexualized. All you ever see is the vagina. Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Let's move on. How about you lead us into some Dragon Age Inquisition
Dragon
news?
Age. Okay, first thing I want to say, earlier I said that Dragon Age was coming out in mid-September. That was totally wrong, and I'm very sorry. It's actually mid-November, so I was only off by 2 months.
Okay.
But,
it's still the end of this year.
Yeah. It's in the fall. Coming out on Windows, PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbone, all over the place. Not the Wii, though. Not a surprise to anyone. But yeah, so we have some stuff this week. We had people got to play the multiplayer of Dragon Age Inquisition. A lot of people in the games, journalists. Not us, though.
Those
circles.
We're
not high class enough.
We're too real for them.
We're too real.
We're too raw.
But Destructoid...
We play Spermania without mods.
No cheat codes for that.
No.
But no, a lot of different places got to play it. I'm going to be talking about the article that Destructoid posted about their experience playing it. This was from August 27th, and it's a fairly positive article. So when I first heard Dragon Age was going to have multiplayer, Dan and I had a very similar reaction, which was basically, ugh. Mostly because
it was mostly extended off of my reaction to when they did multiplayer for Mass Effect.
Yes, and this article mentions that, and it's like, and although a lot of these game places, even Destructoid, a lot of them were saying, really liked Mass Effect 3's multiplayer, and I don't know if they're mentally challenged or if maybe this journalist just never actually played Mass Effect 3's multiplayer, but it wasn't good. Maybe that's just my opinion.
A friend of mine liked it, but I thought it was a waste of time.
I played it a little bit, and it was Horde mode.
It was added into
Mass Effect.
It was added into the game to appeal to a broader audience.
Yeah.
Like, it was added into the game last minute to get them more sales from having a multiplayer component.
And the fact that we're hearing about Inquisition's multiplayer now feels kind of last minute. So again, concern.
Yeah.
But this actually, I've watched the trailer for it. I've watched some gameplay from it.
This game inherently is built better for a multiplayer.
This is
component, true. Just to begin with. Mass Effect was not built for any sort of multiplayer component.
But this one, you've got a 4-player co-op, basically a dungeon crawl going on.
Just one quick aside, one of the people in our chat room has just informed us, and we should probably tell our other listeners, don't Google Spermania.
For the love of God, don't Google that.
It won't be the game.
Really? Really? I'm shocked.
#Spermania.
#Jihad.
#Jihad.
So
They just want advanced copies of Spermania. That's why they hacked PlayStation Network and held it hostage.
Exactly.
Don't we all?
Exactly.
Anyway, Dragon Age.
Dragon Age. So it's a dungeon crawler, and a lot of these game journalist sites are really liking it. They're saying you've got 12 characters to choose from. Mm-hmm. That are all sort of kind of I forget how many classes there are, but the 12 characters are different sort of class archetypes.
Legionnaire, Qatari, Assassin, Archer, Elementalist, Keeper, Alchemist. I like that you can be a Quidditch player.
Yeah. It's a fantasy game, of course. J.K. Rowling has changed our society in a major way.
But enough about her.
So yeah, and these different classes have like some of them are tanks, some of them are DPS, some of them are support classes, that kind of thing.
Build your party and go.
And then you go into a dungeon and you have like quest objectives, and they try and work in a little story where it's like, oh, you're part of the Inquisition, and the heads of the Inquisition have sent you and your friends in as a team to go like purge evil junk from this dungeon or find an item or something like that.
So now, here's my question here. Have they said anything about the dungeons themselves? Are these going to be preset maps? Are these going to be procedurally generated?
From what I've heard in an interview with one of the guys, the maps themselves are physically the same.
Okay.
But there are parts of them that are procedurally generated, like certain monsters and I think certain little side quests or side treasure rooms.
And do your characters level up?
They do.
Outside of each dungeon. Like, do you get to carry over progress?
Yes. And it is also they made a big point of saying the single player, whatever character you have in the single player is not a character you can play in the multiplayer. Mm-hmm. And whatever characters you have in the multiplayer is not a character you can play in single player. So the items do not swap.
Right.
And yeah, so if you're going multiplayer and you're leveling up that character and finding cool loot, that is your multiplayer character. So loot is also instanced for this, like they did in Diablo 3, which was one of the better ideas from Diablo 3. And it just looks, the gameplay that I've seen looks very solid, action RPG gameplay.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited. The concerns right now, the big concerns are that is that it's only going to have a preset number of maps, and there might be paywalls to get things like more maps, or there might be like microtransactions to level your character up, and and you might like have to do that to level up, and that'll make it no fun.
EA is behind BioWare now gives me pause.
A lot of these articles have mentioned that they're still concerned about that, because even though they didn't see any evidence of it,
that doesn't mean it's not going to be there.
Yeah, and so far, BioWare has said like, we might do some stuff where if you want to level up faster, you could pay to do that, but you can easily just play and level up normally, and that's fine. And that's like the kind of microtransaction I don't have as much of a problem with, because you're only gonna go on these quests with people who are your same level anyway.
Yes.
But they've said that there's no more than that in terms of microtransactions. I'm hoping that that's true.
Yeah.
Another thing that BioWare put out a statement about, which is also from a Destructoid article from the 27th, which was just sort of about the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. One of the other things that sucked about Mass Effect 3 multiplayer is because it wasn't that great and a lot of people didn't like it that much, they stopped supporting it after a little while.
So they just kind of left it to smolder.
And that really,
after not too long.
Nothing will kill a multiplayer community quicker than if it's abandoned.
Yeah.
So one of the promises they've already made, as soon as they announced Inquisition was getting multiplayer, was that no, listen, we're gonna support it,
you guys, we promise.
And I mean, that's nice of them to say, but that's going to be heavily dependent on whether people play it or not.
Yeah, it is. I mean, with all the like advertising being drummed up for this game, I feel like it's probably going to sell quite well. Between the advertising and BioWare's pedigree and
definitely,
all
and
that
I think
stuff.
And I think the game is definitely going to sell well. It's just going to be a question of if the multiplayer will continue to be used after after 6 months or after a year.
Right. Which there's no real way to know.
No.
Before we see.
But yeah, so far I'm actually kind of excited about this multiplayer.
Yeah, seems like it might be cool. co-op dungeon crawling is always fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I like the sound of it way more than Mass Effect. Alright, let's get into the unpleasant story.
The unpleasant story.
The one that I don't even really want to talk about, but we should.
But it's important.
I know, but it's so,
news.
like, I'm gonna have to walk on broken glass with this one.
So, in a bad situation that went down on August 27th, because that's when this VentureBeat article is from, and I believe that's when it happened, because, it was around that morning that this happened.
Yeah.
Critic Anita Sarkeesian receives online death threats after latest feminist frequency video on games. So if you don't know who Anita Sarkeesian is, she
did a Kickstarter a couple years ago
that was super successful.
Yep.
About doing a video series about
female representation in video games.
Yeah. And just sort of trying to break it down by giving a lot of examples from different games.
Yeah.
And sort of trying to do it in a very kind of analytical, researched way. Like when you watch one of those videos, it feels like you're sitting in like a college course.
Yeah, she's not terribly sensationalist about anything.
No.
She kind of just lays out her opinions on what's being portrayed in the games she talks about.
And when she first did this, obviously she got a lot of support because of how well the Kickstarter did.
Yes.
So there were clearly a lot of people that were interested.
At the same time, right off the bat, there were lots of people who were mad.
Yes. A lot of, because sort of there's that stereotype about the video game community that they're
exclusionary towards women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that they're very trolly, you know?
Yeah. Well, the troll thing is entirely different. That can be said about it just in general.
Yeah, I mean, I guess about the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so she, received a lot of negative feedback from them. Yep. She disabled comments on the YouTube videos when she started making them because it was just sort of overwhelming.
Which was a smart move, I think.
And
frankly, I think all YouTube videos should have comments disabled.
Might not
especially ones about this kind of thing.
Yeah. But she's still active on social media, things like Twitter.
And also, to her credit, she also handles these situations very elegantly.
Yeah.
She doesn't fight back.
She never gets in an argument with the trolls.
Right, exactly.
Which is very smart.
It's really, really smart, and I think that's really good of her.
And like a lot of, like one of the examples it gives in this is like someone sends her an email where they swear at her a lot and then say like, here's a video that disproves everything you're talking about, but you'll never tell anybody about this because you don't want them to know about it. Yeah. So she screen caps, the link to that video, and then tweets it and says like, "Hey,
this person said that this disproves me."
Yeah, and like I don't think, and she says like I don't think it does.
Yeah,
but I'm not afraid to retweet this, and I'm like, that's a
smart way of handling the situation.
That seems like the best way to handle the situation,
right?
So,
no matter what she's been doing, though, it has just constantly been getting her flack.
Definitely.
Alongside the support. And this has been happening, I don't remember how long ago the Kickstarter was, but she's been putting out these videos now for several years. For, like, at least 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like the trolling lets up.
Right. Which, if I'm going to be honest, doesn't really surprise me. Because a lot of the people who are willing to go to such lengths to harass her and stuff like that aren't gonna stop because they're just messed up.
Yeah, because they're gonna do it.
Yeah, they're gonna do it. Like, that's like, to bring it to a much more minor thing. I mean, we said there's lots of trolling going on in the gaming community. Look at like console war arguments. They never stop.
No,
they don't even stop after those consoles are old. Like, so like this kind of stuff. No matter what you're talking about in the gaming community, there's gonna be people who are like, Call of Duty's better than Battlefield. No, Battlefield's better than Call of Duty. And they'll bicker about it forever. Like, just literally forever. So the sad part is that when you get it about something much more serious, and like, that's much more of an actual issue, like this, people are going to have that same never-ending argument reaction. But in this case, it's about a real serious issue, and not just whose video game is better.
Yeah.
So it becomes kind of frightening.
It does.
And upsetting and violent.
Yeah,
and
that's
what the problem.
And that's what leads us into exactly what happened recently, which was that she had been getting a lot of
really, really, really violent tweets. I don't think we should really read it.
No, I'm not going to read them. If you want to check
really
out the VentureBeat article, it has the screen grab of the tweets that were sent to her. We have it posted on our Facebook, so you can check that out.
Yep.
I don't really think they're appropriate to read, even on air like this, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, we're not that. We're generally not that much sticklers about stuff. I think censorship stuff on our show, but this is like too much.
Yeah, I mean, to give the gist of it, they sort of fluctuate back and forth between being
incredibly sexual
and incredibly violent.
Yes, in a very creepy way.
Yeah,
which is probably the point from the person sending them, because they were trying to psych her out.
And they didn't just talk about her, but they also talked about her parents and talked about
it's too much.
Yeah,
it's way too much.
And talked about how they knew where she lived and knew where her parents lived. And and it was really that prompted her to contact the authorities.
Right, which led to this whole issue kind of coming out. I was looking into this a little bit earlier, and saw some people comparing this whole situation to Jack Thompson. And I don't know if you remember Jack Thompson.
I totally don't. I'm sorry.
Jack Thompson was a lawyer several years ago now he was the guy who was like super outspoken about video games being the root of all like violence and stuff. Yep. Shootings at schools, things like that. Every time something like that happened, this guy, Jack Thompson, was the one who came up and be like, this is video games! Video games are the cause!
He probably hated Night Trap.
He probably completely hated Night Trap. But this was like, I want to say... This was within the last decade that Jack Thompson was around. Yeah. Eventually, he got disbarred because I think that I get the vibe that Congress just didn't want to hear him talk about video games anymore. But the thing is, while he was really, really active, he received similar threats. Like, he received violent threats from people who were just like, I don't like you talking bad about video games. People who take it way too personally and are just like, this guy's an idiot, he's stupid, he should die. Like... I don't get it. Frankly, I think that the people who send these death threats are just really, really, really immature and really stupid, regardless of the situation. The problem here is that, like, the stuff happening with Anita really reminds me of that, because every time Jack Thompson spoke up about these things, even though a lot of the things he was saying were stupid, he got death threats. Every time Anita posts a new video, she gets death threats. It's a very similar situation. The problem here is that there's this whole other social stigma surrounding it because Anita's stuff is about feminism and women's rights and things like that. So you get this extra layer of like misogynistic backlash against it that wasn't present with Jack Thompson because he was just a chubby middle-aged lawyer. One wants to say the only way to solve this problem is to ignore it. But at the same time, ignoring social issues like this is generally not the right decision. It's a delicate and complicated situation.
It is, and
I don't think, to be completely honest, I don't think there's a good way to stop it now.
They're like out because then you get into questions of censorship.
Exactly,
and, like, that's not cool.
At this point, it's kind of, even though it's so horrible, at this point, I feel like there's not really anything that can be done about it.
And it sucks.
I'm glad that Anita is stalwart enough to put up with it.
Yeah, I give her a lot of credit for just
doing that.
For hanging in there.
At the same time, there's tons of people who are like, this needs to stop, this needs to stop, how do we stop this? I don't think there's a good way to. Because the anonymity of the internet protects these people who are threatening her. It sucks. But, like, how many times have you gone into a YouTube comments thread and seen people threatening to kill each other? Like, every day.
Every day.
Like, have you ever gone on a sports forum?
I don't know what sports are.
My God.
Unless they're esports, but I don't even watch those. They're too sporty for me.
No, it's insane. The sheer amount of messed up violence, including messed up sexual violence, that is posted in comments and forums about the dumbest stuff on the internet is amazing. And this is like sports forums where people are threatening to like rape each other over someone not liking the right sports team. Like, this happens on the internet all the time, and I'm not saying, like, that makes it okay. It doesn't. But it's like, what do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do? As far as Anita's whole thing goes, I think that the people who are most outspoken and who are sending her these threatening tweets are, frankly, just really, really, really immature people who are, like, teenagers and stuff who are spiteful of women for one reason or another and see her as a punching bag.
I also see
and a way to, like, vent their frustrations.
Yeah. And I also see them as a pretty small minority.
Oh, absolutely. It's a small but very vocal minority.
Which is the only, like, glimmer of hope in this.
Right.
And again, I think that's evidenced by her Kickstarter.
Right.
Because you can see, just by numbers, how many people support her via that.
Yeah. And on her Twitter and stuff, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing that irks me about this whole thing is that these people are so hell-bent, even the people who aren't sending her these threats and things, there's so many people who are so hell-bent on proving her wrong, when her videos aren't really even there to prove herself right. She is presenting things and critiquing things and presenting them for the sake of discussion. Further discussion. So the fact that so many people have this mentality of, I need to prove her wrong, that they are going about dealing with this, and even if they disagree with her, in entirely the wrong manner. I have seen so many videos that are just like, here's proof that Anita Sarkeesian isn't worth listening to and is wrong. Like, everything's just trying to discredit her. And it's like, that's not how you have a debate. That's not how you have an argument. That's just ad hominem. That's an ad hominem fallacy. You're targeting her instead of her argument, which is exactly what you're not supposed to. Like, you have lost the argument already if you're doing that. I believe one of our friends posted on our Facebook page also how ridiculous he thought it was that people were trying to people were trying to prove to her that there was no such thing as oppression and violence towards women in the media by sending her oppressive, violent tweets. Like, almost all the people who are actively trying to counteract what she's putting out are shooting themselves in the foot constantly. Which annoys me, because I've watched some of her videos, and, like, I agree with, like, some of her points, I don't agree with other points.
Yeah.
And I've never really taken the time to try and bring up any of my arguments counter to hers, but I'm also not just being like, I'm so mad, I don't like the things she said, I'm gonna discredit her so good, and we'll post this YouTube video with voice modulation so everyone thinks I'm serious and cool. That's the other thing. If you want to critique Anita Sarkeesian and you're listening right now, please don't make a YouTube video with voice modulation or using Microsoft Sam to talk. Be a real man and talk.
Yeah.
Or woman. I don't know.
One of the other comments we got on Facebook about this was exactly the kind of thing that I want to see, where someone's like, I don't agree with some of her stuff, and I think, like, these things are right and these things are wrong, and, like, that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, and he also stated, I believe that same person said, like, when you get right down to brass tacks, video games are an artistic thing. They're an artistic form of artistic expression.
Yeah. And
people are free to portray things in art as any way they want to. And if you don't like it, you don't have to deal with it. Yeah. You can ignore that art and not accept it, and you don't have to subject yourself to it.
Yeah.
Which is also a very good point.
And that's that's the kind
that
of
post
thing
that was very well articulated. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, he clearly didn't agree with most of her views, but he articulated his thoughts on it well and wasn't insulting.
And that's what I wish more people would do.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's all it really comes down to. It's like, if you guys want to get into this whole video game feminism, social justice thing that's become so big in these past few years, think before you talk, think before you post things, and be respectful of everybody. And that goes for both sides. Because there are people on the side of Anita who are also really, really alarmist and, like, just angry towards the other side, and it causes them to hurt their own cause.
Because they see the negative language and then they lash out in response to
that. And
I've
seen a lot of assumption, too, that because there are a select few people who label themselves as gamers, who are against Anita and are like, we're going to take her down. Oh, I've seen a lot of people on Anita's side say, like, all these gamer people are bad people. That's just the other extreme.
Yeah, that's just a horrible generalization.
It is.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. So regardless of what side you're on this, just try and be. I'm going to quote an '80s movie: "Be excellent to each other."
I was about to do that. We can learn anything from
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted.
They saved the world. You should listen to them. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.
Exactly.
And I think that's where we should leave this conversation off.
I think that's a good idea. So now we're a little over for time, but I really want to do our game review this week.
I think we still have a couple minutes.
Well, we're 5 after, but we did start
We started
probably
late.
at 5 after.
We started late, so we got time. Squeeze it in there.
Squeeze it in. This is a game we've been looking forward to reviewing for so long. Oh yeah, we'll talk about. There isn't a whole lot of cool new stuff coming out. We'll talk about next week.
Yeah, there's no good game releases this coming week, so we'll put that on hold so we can talk more about this.
This week we are reviewing
Super Time Force Ultra. That's how the menu says it.
It is exactly how the menu says it. So hey.
Now, this game came out, we talked about it on the last show, that this was being released on, was it Monday or Tuesday? It was Tuesday, right?
Monday.
It was Monday. This was being released on Steam on Monday. This is the PC version of Super Time Force, which was released on the Xbox Arcade initially.
In May, on May 14th.
Yes, so this was what we were both waiting for, was the PC version. Mm-hmm. It does not disappoint. No. The game is awesome. Like, it's as fun as I hoped it would be.
Oh my god, it's so great.
Lex, you've beaten it. I have not yet. I have played through 2 full stages. But I'm already enjoying the heck out of it. I didn't have as much time to play it this week as I would have liked.
You know what?
So I'm going to let you helm this review, because you've experienced more of it.
This game is like Contra, which you've probably heard already if you've heard anything about the game.
Yeah.
The big difference is it has a time rewind mechanic.
Yes.
So
a very, very well integrated time rewind mechanic.
Yeah, it's great.
Like, one of the most interesting and fun ones I've seen in a game.
So you'll be shooting guys, there'll be bullets everywhere, one hit you're dead, so you get killed, and then it'll immediately go into a rewind mode where it'll just start rewinding, and you can just hit.
You rewind as far as you want.
Yeah.
And then you hit the space bar, and you get to select one of your other characters.
Or that same character if you want.
Because time travel.
And then you
drop right back into the level.
At the time that you rewinded to.
Yes.
So the guy who you were playing as, who has
still
died,
exists.
Yeah, hasn't died yet, and you can save them from being killed.
And then collect them as a power-up.
In which you can gain an additional hit point, so you take more hits and you can do more damage and stuff.
Yeah. It works super well. Once you get used to it, it's a very, very well done mechanic.
Yeah, it's so smooth. The thing that I actually had a lot of trouble with in this game, and my original review was going to be, this is in equal parts the most frustrating and most fun game I've ever played.
Right.
Because those first couple of levels, like, the graphics are really fun, retro graphics, and I know a lot of people are sick of the retro graphic thing because we've seen it a lot. And that's fair, but admittedly,
they keep being done well.
Yeah, they're done
regardless of if you don't like it.
They're done so well in this game. They're really, the color palette is great.
Yeah.
And just the levels are really silly and like fun references.
And the story's hilarious.
And the story's hilarious, and all the dialogue is so funny.
Yeah.
And the characters' names are all goofy.
Dolphin Lundgren.
Unlockable character.
A dolphin walking on his tail fins with a machine gun. Fantastic.
But yeah, so those first couple levels really felt like they were really fun, but they were super frustrating.
Yes, and I agree with this too. When I first started playing,
yeah, and after I got past the first 3 levels, it finally clicked with me how I was supposed to use the rewind mechanic.
Yep,
and I thought, oh, this is how I'm supposed to play the levels.
It all makes so much more sense.
And then,
the game wants you to use it frequently, not even just to save yourself. The game wants you to use it all the time.
Yeah, because when you can choose to use it if you haven't died.
Yes.
And should.
Sometimes you should, because sometimes it's really helpful.
And you can set up all these really cool chains of events with the different characters as you're going through levels.
The boss fights are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's
because you usually have 20 to 30 seconds to beat the boss. Everything's on a timer. Even the whole levels, you have 60 seconds to beat the level.
Yeah, and admittedly, you can find power-ups that'll give you an additional 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, but you still need to be moving and you rewinding time constantly to get through certain areas faster with multiple characters. The bosses always turn into these big, crazy, just a mess of your characters spawning in and dying all over the place as you rain shots down on the boss to get their health bar down in time.
Yeah.
It's wacky. And at the end of the level, you can watch a replay of the level in real time.
Or slow motion.
But it's how it would have looked to just, if you're just watching without the time rewinds. So you've got your characters just, popping in and out and, dying and, One boss fight when I was watching a replay, my character dropped down into the boss area, and then immediately, because of the way I had done the rewinds, the whole boss room was filled with like 15 other characters who all just started shooting the boss at once. So no, it's fun because I always feel like I'm messing up a lot when I play the levels themselves, but then when I watch the replay, it makes me look way cooler.
So much cooler.
And I like it a lot because of that.
I can't recommend this game enough, especially
it's terrific.
If you like side-scrolling shooters.
And it's only $15.
It's true.
Too, and it's definitely worth it. And it's on sale for 10% off right now, I believe.
Is it still?
Maybe not.
I know it was
maybe
the first couple days.
Week. Yeah.
But definitely check it out. Man, it's good.
Capybara Games. Hope to see more from them.
I'm happy. So, man, that... also the final cutscene.
Which you've told me is terrific.
It's so
I don't
funny.
want spoilers, though.
It's so funny. Yeah, I won't give any spoilers.
If you've got an Xbox or a gaming PC, grab Super Time Force.
Oh, one thing I will also say about Ultra, which I'm sure you will be happy about, is it has New Game Plus type mode.
Does it?
It does.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I love New Game Plus. Put it on everything.
So you can replay that game and
love
have it be even harder.
Oh, I'm excited. So you've been listening to Don't Copy That Floppy, video game news show on chipit.net, Chiprit Radio.
With your hosts Lex and Dan.
That's me. I'm the second one.
You're the second one. So we broadcast typically on Fridays from 7 to 8 on chipit.net. You can either listen to the on-site player or you can download a playlist file, listen at iTunes. You can find us on Facebook, Don't Copy That Floppy. You can find us on iTunes, Don't Copy That Floppy. You can find us on Twitter at DCTF Podcast. Please follow us.
And you can chat with us during the show on chipit.net.
That's true.
Just go to the chat room.
Yeah, if you're following us on Facebook, usually right before the episode starts or right as it starts, we post a link to the chat room. Yep. You can jump on. You just go to the Chipit homepage, and at the top menu bar, there's a little chat button. You don't need to already have an account. You can just make one up and jump into the chat room and ask us questions and stuff.
We encourage audience participation.
We do. We've got some great comments.
I run the chat part. I'm cool guy Dan.
You're just sitting closer to the computer.
I know, I run it. Don't take this from me.
Don't take this from me.
So anyway, thank you for listening, everybody, and remember, don't copy that floppy.